Hey everyone, John here with Pro H Paintball. I'm back in the tech room today for another tech video. Today we've got the Exalt feed gate. This is for the Halo. This is called their Exalt Universal Feed Gate. So this is a speed feed, so you don't have to open your lid every single time. And today I'm going to show you how to install that. All you're going to need is a screwdriver, your feed gate of your choice, in about 10 or 15 minutes. Let's get started. All right, to get started installing your speed feed, I went ahead and took my screwdriver and unscrewed all of these, loosened all the screws up. There are quite a few of them, so what I'm going to do now that I've loosened them up, I'm just going to flip the loader over. Hopefully most of them come out. Good to go. So you have a few long ones, small one. So I've got one more up top. Loosen that up. And one trick you can do if they don't come out is you can take the other long screws that do come out and screw them in from the back, and that will actually help push that screw all the way through. Okay, so now that I've got those out, there's one more thing you need to do. The front, depending on which Halo you have, some of them just had a screw in the front, this middle size screw here that held the battery pack in. The new Halo 2, the newest version of the one that we currently sell, comes with the rip drive, which is like an anti-jam feature, and it comes with a push button, a slide button, a battery door here. So you want to slide that all the way forward. It's going to pop up, pull that out, set to the side, and then you'll also need to unscrew this screw here. So I'm going to take the battery pack out. And go ahead and unscrew this here. And it should be a small, tiny screw. And this little bitty piece is going to sit off the front. You can just put that together. This is going to be one small screw and the front nose piece. Okay, now that we've got this apart, you want to open the lid. And I'm going to take my fingers inside this small gap here and just spread my hand out like this while kind of holding the back here. So holding it, spreading apart. At the same time, my left hand is here, kind of on this seam. Same thing, I'm kind of gripping it with my top hand while my bottom part of my hand is holding it down, and kind of using it all to split it at the same time. That way the front of the shell doesn't try to come up and then I do the back. I'm trying to lift it all up at the same time because the loader does split right down the middle. Okay, so we're going to pull that up just like that and flip it over, and that is everything. So one thing that everybody will forget multiple times as you're doing this is there's a small nut right here in the front, and this will fall out. You'll put the entire loader back together. This won't be in there. You have to take the loader back apart. So make sure when you're putting this back together, make sure that nut is in there, and we'll remind you through the video. Okay, so you have your front button piece in the front, you have your board, your wires and everything, and those should naturally be tucked into this gap here. It's specifically cut out for that. If not, you want your wires to look just like this. If you're taking it apart and putting it back together, you want to put them down so that way it's not pinched into here. And all this is blue, like blue electrical tape that holds it all in place. Same thing, your wires go down there. So you're going to want to take your lid off. So this is going to be 3 pieces. It's going to be the lid itself, the lid pin, and then a little spring that's sitting right inside here. It's kind of sharp, so be careful. Pull that out. Typically what I will do is I'll put these together like this, and I'll take a piece of tape, packing tape, masking tape, anything like that, and tape that right to the middle of it. Because you always want to hold on to your lid just in case you don't like the speed feed, it breaks on you last minute, you can't get something new, or it's going to start raining that week and you want to put your lid back in. Go ahead and put a piece of tape. That way it's ready to go. You put that in your bag, you're ready to go. Okay, so go ahead and take advantage of this. Clean your loader out, wipe it down real well. And then it's just a matter of putting it back together. But remember, make sure this nut goes here. So that piece goes there. And this might be one of the more difficult pieces or parts of putting it back together. There's a little slot here on the top and the bottom. And there's a little notch on the inside on the top and the bottom. And this is on both sides of the shell. What that is this back plate here has a small groove or a small little extension piece here that will slide into this piece. So you want to make sure you line those up. So what I typically do is I'll take this in my left hand, just like this. And this way I can kind of see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to take the small little groove right there and line it up there on top first. And then I'm going to line it up on the bottom. And typically if you get the outside piece lined up, everything else will line up correctly. But if you have to force this for any reason, you're not doing it right, or something's not put back together right. So we're just going to take this and kind of wobble it back and forth and work it down. And you kind of hear it's kind of lining itself up. Perfect. So you want to make sure that this back plate is smooth all the way around. Sometimes it'll stick out a little bit, sometimes it'll be underneath it, and that just means it's not lined up correctly. So you want to do that. You want to make sure that your wire is not pinched inside of here. And like we said earlier, you want to make sure this nut is actually inside of here. Good to go. So that went together pretty easy. Probably half the time it doesn't go together that easy. But before you get too excited, you want to make sure you go ahead and take one of your long screws, the middle screw, and go ahead and tighten this up. That way you don't have to worry about the loader accidentally coming apart while you're putting the rest of the stuff together. And just hand tighten it down. You don't want to tighten this down with all your muscles because you will crack the shell. They are plastic. Okay, so then we want to go in reverse. Put this nose piece on here. Again, it just kind of sits there. There's 2 grooves on each side that it'll line up on. And if you don't put this nut, so actually you can see, hopefully you can see it, there's a small gap there. So that means the nut's just sitting in there just a little sideways. I'm going to loosen it up and just kind of work it around. Or one thing I like to do is I'll take one of the long screws, I'll screw it into that nut, and that way I've got access to kind of wiggle that nut around. And now you can see there's no gap in the bottom at all now. So I'm going to undo that. Again, go back to my middle screw here, tighten that up. So I know my wires are not between the 2 shells. I know the nut is in place because this is completely smooth in the front. There's no bulge in the back here. There we go. There's no bulge in the back because everything's smooth. So you're pretty well good to go. And before we put the last, we're going to go ahead and put all this back together. And before I put the speed feed on, before I go much further than this, I'm going to make sure the loader still works. Sometimes you can pull a wire off, anything like that. But before you put all these screws back into place, you want to go ahead and test your batteries. Go and grab your battery pack, put it in place, connect it there. Just let it sit on the side and press the button. You'll see it. It'll spin. You're good to go. As long as it spins, as long as it turns on, you're ready to go. I'm going to hold it down to turn it off. And I'm going to take the batteries, tuck them in here. There's a specific way. You want to make sure that the wires are on the bottom side of it, not the top. Slide the foam there. That's to help keep from rattling around. Then on this one, the front nose piece is going to go in first. And then you're going to pull back on this latch and make sure it latches all the way forward. I just push it forward to lock into place. And then I'm always a red person, so I'm going to go with the red speed feed here. You want to take this and put it just like this. Of course, you can see we have quite a few options for these speed feeds. These are available on our website, prohpb.com. Anything you buy from us, we do install for free. So if you own a Halo or think about buying a Halo and you want to come by to the store, just ask us. It's not a problem. There's no charge ever for us to install anything. So I've unscrewed this screw here almost all the way out. It's almost flush to make sure I have plenty of room to install this speed feed onto the lid part. It's a little tight, so I'm making it go just a little bit more. And the nut and screw will come apart. So if you unscrew it too much, it will kind of fall apart, and you just put them back together. So what I want to do is I want to make sure it's flat all the way around the entire loader. And then I'm going to just snug this up. Again, this is plastic, so you don't want to just tighten it down as much as you can because you will break it. So you just want to tighten it down a little at a time as whenever you grab it. Tighten enough so that when you grab it, you can't move it at all. And you're good to go. Then we want to go back and put all of our screws back together. If you put a long screw in a short spot, it's just going to stick out the other side and look goofy. But if you put a short screw in one of the long holes, it's not going to work right. So just to go over that, at the very top is going to be a long screw, top back long screw, bottom back long screw, right dead center is going to be a long screw. The smallest screws are going to be the very bottom and at the very front. And then the mid-size screw, this should be the only one of this size, is going to go right here in the front. And again, just tighten these down. So if you guys have any questions about this, need any help, if you're local to our store, just swing by. Even if you didn't buy the gear from us, swing by. Our staff will help you as much as we can. We don't mind at all. Or give us a call. If you're having problems with this, we can help you over the phone as well. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like our video. That really does help our YouTube channel grow. We're trying to do more tech videos for you guys, more videos in general, try to help grow our name and grow our channel. So please like. We are going to do weekly tech videos, so if you could subscribe. We've got new videos coming out on the latest gear every week. Yeah, we'll keep doing that, see what we can do for you guys. So again, any questions, reach out to us on social media, stop by the store, or you can comment below if you like the video, or if you'd like to see other videos, please comment below. We'll do whatever we can to help you guys out. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you then.